Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrie's Thrifty Farmhouse. If you like decorating on a budget, you're in the right place. I'd like to start out by thanking my existing subscribers, and if this is your first time here, be sure to introduce yourself in the comments below so we can connect. And if you like what you see, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and help me grow my channel. Since we're so close to Christmas and everyone has likely done all the decorating they're gonna do, I thought I'd switch gears and focus on the gift giving side of things. Today I'm turning the $1 wood cutting boards from Dollar Tree into a special gift for the gals in my church group. First, I designed a quote in my WordSwag app. It's my favorite app for sayings, logos, words on photos, you name it. And I've mentioned it enough that I thought I'd do a little tutorial, so if you're interested, stick around after the project and I'll show you how I used the app to design the sign. I printed out the words in the size I liked and then used my favorite Arteza transfer paper to transfer the writing to the boards. I didn't film the whole process because there were 7 boards, so I just hunkered down and did all my transferring while watching the finale of The Voice last night. So I recently added a wood burning tool to my crafting stash. I'll be honest that I bought it mainly for the hot knife tool that it has because I wanted to cut jack-o'-lantern faces into plastic containers for these little tin men I made around Halloween. But it has opened up a whole new crafting realm for me, and I've started dabbling in the actual wood burning. So I'm going to burn and engrave the sayings into these boards. There are, I think, 11 different tools included in the wood burning kit, and I can't tell you what they're all for, but I planned to start with the tiniest part of the text, so I just picked the tool with the finest tip so that I could be extra precise, and it worked really well. I figured out that the key is to not press too hard, and it's better to keep the wood burner moving because if you hold it in one place for too long it can scorch the wood. I played around with the temperature settings a bit, but found it worked best in the highest setting. When I turned it down, I found that I had to go over the lines more times than I wanted to, especially given that I had 7 boards to complete. Once I was finished with the small text, I let the burner cool and then switched to a larger point. It was also a cone, only this time it was a little bit larger. However, you'll see that after a few letters I switched to a different point. Instead of a cone shape, it was more flat at the end like a post. With this tool I was able to still follow thin lines, but it was much better for the shading aspect of the larger letters. The burning was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It took a little trial and error because I'm a lefty and have a tendency to drag my hand, and you have to hold the burner up more, so it was a little awkward for me at first, but I eventually found my groove. I found it easiest to go over the outside lines, then fill in using a circular motion like you might do with coloring. I don't know though, does everyone do that? Maybe most people are back and forth colorers. I am definitely a handmade gift person, and I think especially this year I wanted to give the gift of encouragement to my girls. Most of us are moms, and this year has been really rough with quarantine and virtual school and not being able to do our normal things with the kids and feeling separated from each other too. The actual passage says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity," but I've seen it translated to strong previously, and I thought it was short and sweet but impactful. And seriously, what woman doesn't want or need to hear that she's strong? But if you're looking for a more secular version of a sign, I think it would be neat to do a last name with the year a couple was married, or a sign like Carrie's Kitchen. Actually, now that I think of it, I've been waiting for the perfect project to use a quote I love by Shanti. It says, "At the end of the day, your feet should be dirty, your hair messy, and your eyes sparkling." That quote always makes me think of the times when we've taken our boys to mud days at our metro parks. But really, my point is that these boards are a blank canvas, and you can take this idea in many different directions. You could also use paint or stain or even the furniture touch-up pins from the Dollar Tree, so you don't have to have a wood burner to make an impact. So I just continued outlining the letters, then shading them in until I was finished. There were a few places where small ridges in the wood made the burner ever so slightly go off the line, but it was easy to fix and I just widened the line a little bit. I am so happy with how these turned out, and I think my girls are going to love them too. Doesn't this one look so cute on my kitchen counter? They're also small enough that they could fit on a windowsill or even a tiered tray. A nice little farmhouse touch to anyone's decor. Okay, as promised, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on one of my favorite and most used apps. But first, a little intermission entertainment. My son and puppy playing in the snow. She's such a snow dog, and here she is catching snowballs tossed by my son. So this is my first time doing a screen recording, and I'll warn you that you'll see a couple notifications pop up during it. I thought I had turned off the notifications, but apparently I just turned off the preview portion of the notifications. As I mentioned, the app is called WordSwag, and it's my go-to app for adding lettering to projects. There is an initial cost to the app. I think it's $4.99, but it has paid for itself tenfold. I think I figured out that I've used WordSwag lettering in about 50% of my videos so far, and many more projects and pictures before I even started my channel. When you first click into the app, you can select to go to your photo library or their free photos. We'll begin with the free photos. I plan to use a blank white background, but you can also use a transparent background so you can add your design to a background at a later time. There is also a search function where you can type basically anything in the search box to scan thousands of free photos. Here I'm just typing a few different things to show the variety it has. You can search by colors, or here I'm searching for the holiday theme. I also like to search for scenic things like trees or the beach. Once you've selected your background, you're ready to choose the size. The app has lots of choices and has sizes formatted for almost all social media platforms. Of particular note is the 16:9 size, which is the size for YouTube thumbnails. I'm also going to use that size to give me an approximation of the size of the cutting boards. Click Next, and now you get to pick the fonts. Along the bottom you can scroll and see that there are a ton to choose from. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a really neat little function. There's this pair of dice, and when you click these, it keeps the same style but reconfigures the text. So it might change the size or spacing or the number of words on each line. It's fun to play around with this function. There's also this shout-out font, which is pretty fun because it incorporates symbols and flags, so it's great for logos and signs. There's just so many options, and I like that you don't have to spend all sorts of time formatting. It does it all for you. I also really like this keys font and have used it for a lot of different videos where I number the projects. I feel like it looks like an old typewriter or WordPress. Also, to the left of the fonts, there's a filter box, so if you are looking for a particular style like script or bold, you can set it to just show those types of fonts. I filtered for chic fonts and found this Capri style for the first part of my sign. Double tap on the text box to bring up a keyboard to input your own unique text. Then you can pinch in or out to change the size and drag it to the position you like. The app also provides guidelines that pop up which can help you center your text both in the total space or relative to other text. At the top of the page, there's a button to add text which allows you to add another layer. This is how you can start to mix fonts together. This time I filtered for script options. I really like the Summer Soiree font, and I just size it and position it where I like. Then I click the Add button to add my final layer. Because this one was really small writing, I wanted it to be super clean and straight in all caps. I really like the style Luna for that. So that's how I created the sign for the cutting boards, but since we're here, I thought I'd show you quickly how you can work with your own personal photos. So at the home screen, just click on the library to access your photos, and I'm just going to click on this crazy photo of my oldest when he was about 4 jumping off these rock climbing boulders at our local park. He's always been our fearless one, and it's a fun picture to look at now, but the whole thing about gave me a heart attack at the time. So you add text in the same way, but you can play around with colors to make it more cohesive. On pictures like this, I usually like to use fonts that have a background so that the words stand out more. Then you can colorize the text. They have standard colors to choose from, or you can click the dropper to select a custom color. You can also play with the transparency of the text box and even the transparency and filters for the picture itself. This is just a super versatile app. So there you have it. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell as well so you can stay current with my content. I'll be taking a short break to spend the holidays with my family, so I want to take a moment to wish everyone a very safe and especially healthy holiday season. And I can't wait to bring you more budget DIYs in the new year. See you next time. Bye.